Hi, my name is Annie, and welcome to the Walking Word, where we go through the Holy Bible in a year as part of discipling. We are currently reading the book of Joshua, which is a conquest book. It's about conquering Canaan. And we are in chapter 18, where we're looking at the seven remaining portions to be shared with the tribes that are left. Seven tribes among the Israelites. Verse 18. After they had subdued the land, the whole community of the Israelites assembled in Shiloh, where they set up the meeting tent. Okay, so the meeting tent was kept in Shiloh. Seven tribes among the Israelites had not yet received their heritage. Joshua therefore said to the Israelites, "How much longer will you put off taking steps to possess the land which the Lord your God, your fathers, has given you? How much more longer? How longer will you take your inheritance? It's not that God is not giving you, but how long will it take it for you to take it? Choose 3 men from each of your tribes. I will commission them to begin a survey of the land. Choose 3 men from each of your tribes. I will commission them to begin a survey of the land, which they shall describe for purposes of inheritance. When they return to me, you shall divide it into 7 parts. Judah is to retain its territory in the south, and the house of Joseph in its territory in the north. You shall bring here to me the description of the land in 7 sections. I will then cast lots for you here before the Lord our God, for the Levites have no share among you, because the priesthood of the Lord is their heritage, while Gad, Reuben, and the half of tribe of Manasseh have already received their heritage east of the Jordan, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave them. When those who were to map out the land were ready for the journey, Joshua instructed them to survey the land, prepare a description of it, and return to him. Then he would cast lots, for them there before the Lord at Shiloh. So they went through the land, listed its cities in writing in 7 sections, and returned to Joshua in the camp at Shiloh. Joshua then divided up the land for the Israelites into their separate shares, casting lots for them before the Lord in Shiloh. Now, for the tribe of Benjamin, one lot fell on the clans of the tribe of the Benjamites. The territory allotted them lay between the descendants of Judah and the descendants of Joseph. Interestingly, because um, both Joseph and Judah expressed extreme love for Benjamin. Okay, if you remember their story in Egypt. Okay, let's continue. Verse 12. Their northern boundary began at the Jordan and went over the northern flank of Jericho, up westward into the mountain, till it reached the desert of Beth Aven. From there, it crossed over to the southern flank of Luz, that is Bethel. Then it ran down to Ataroth Adar, on the mountain top south of Beth Horon. From the western border, the boundary line swung south from the mountain top, opposite Beth Horon, till it reached Kiriath Baal, that is Kiriath Jearim, which city belonged to the Judahites. This was the western boundary. The southern boundary began in the limits of Kiriath Jearim and projected the spring of Nephtoah. It went down to the edge of the mountain on the north of the valley of Rephaim, where it faces the valley of Ben Hinnom, okay, and continuing down to the valley of Himon along the southern flank of the Jebusites, reached En Rogel. Inclining to the north, it extended to En Shemesh, and thence Geliloth opposite the pass of Adumim. Then it dropped to Eben Bohan Ben Reuben across the northern flank of the Arabah, overlooking down to the Arabah. From there, the boundary continues across the northern flank to Beth Hoglah and extending to the northern tip of the Salt Sea and the southern end of the Jordan. This was the southern boundary. The Jordan bounded it on the east. This was how the heritage of the clans of the Benjamites was bounded on all sides. Okay. So they were landlocked. The Benjamites were landlocked within, surrounded by the other brothers. Now the cities belonged to the clans of the tribe of the Benjamites were Jericho, Beth Hogla, Emek Keziz, Beth Araba, Zamaraim, Bethel, Avim, Para, Ophrah, Jepharamoni, Ophni, and Geba, 12 cities and their villages. Also Gibeon, Ramah, Beeroth, Mizpeh, Chephira, Moza, Rechem, Irpil, Tarala, Zela, Haelef, the Jebusite city, that is Jerusalem, Gibeah, and Kiriath, 14 cities and their villages. This was the heritage of the clans of the Benjamites. Now in chapter 19, we'll now look at all the other remaining tribes.